some of you may have noticed that on Twitter, now your average common scum can be verified by paying $8.
$8.
That just started today. And I just want to let you know that you can buy that verification. You're still not like me.
You are not like us.
You're not like us.
No,
me and Danny are public figures.
Yeah, if you see us in the street, don't be like, hey, fellow blue check. No, you'll be met with a cold, icy stare.
It's a different type of thing. It's the equivalent of you paying for a prostitute and me having girls thrown at me.
Yes, we are not the same person.
A blue check mark that you earned through hard-earned asking your agent to get that check mark for you. Like a man is like having a real vagina versus a prosthetic that you've paid for. And I just want to make that very clear. I've seen these people, on the internet, just total proletariat.
Oh, they're really feeling themselves right now, too. They're trying to get themselves invited to the Grammys.
They think they deserve to be at the Grammys because they have $8 in their pocket. And I've watched it. I'm obviously on my perch at that point. I've watched it. And it's disgusting.
Makes me sick.
You're nobody.
Bunch of LARPers.
You're LARPing an important person.
Yeah.
And you will never be us. We are blue checks. And you know what? They can take away our blue check.
Blue checks for life.
But they can't take away the blue blood.
No, we bleed blue.
No, I just had to get it off my chest. Let's have an episode.
All right,
we bleed blue.
The boys. It's the BOYSCAST. The lads. It's the BOYSCAST. The dudes. Prepare yourself for BOYSCAST. It's the bros. It's the BOYSCAST. The homies. It's the BOYSCAST. The dudes. Experience the BOYSCAST. The BOYSCAST.
I woke up this morning and I got myself a gun because I thought that democracy was over.
Yes.
Luckily, it was we woke up.
There's still time.
The election happened. It's still time.
You know what's so lame right now with the elections is they're not even done. They last a week now.
So you're telling me democracy still might be over?
Democracy's on pause right now, pal.
There was a lot of people that couldn't sleep at night. They said, this is our democracy. This is the last chance we have. Rob Reiner was fucking tossing and turning, pal.
And the Rob Reiner living in California being like, I wonder which way this is going to go.
Yeah. So obviously, you know what? I've said this before, though. I get, because we've even did this sketch about like how all of the elections, everything's fear. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this is one thing people will tell you that, voting's really important. Every time I kind of have the opposite take of that, everyone gets mad at me. But if you're smart, what you do is you find someone that votes the opposite way of you. Mm-hmm. You both agree not to vote.
Sure.
And then you use that time to start a crypto Ponzi scheme, get rich. They're sleeping. You're working.
They're at the always hustling.
Can I have a pencil, please, to vote for my electorate? I just made $15,000.
Yeah, we have 26 hours in our day.
We have an extra 3 hours in every voting year.
I know. Now, Ryan, I know this is a personal question, but who did you vote for?
I can't vote. Won't vote.
You can't vote? What do you mean?
Well, you can vote in America with a green card?
I don't even have a green card. They don't care, dude. They don't care. I voted 8 times yesterday. What do you mean? Dude, we got all these disguises that we use. Like, we have all these costumes that we use for all the sketches. I just grabbed a garbage bag and I went station to station.
Danny's coming back Costco style with different mustaches. Oh, another Democrat, please.
Yes, I would like one more for Kathy Hochul, please.
But yeah, you have to do it where when you go back to the Costco, you have to be like, is these samples? You go, this is voting? But you got like a big fucking...
I thought this was a school. Oh, you guys do voting here?
Oh, you know what?
I guess, yeah, if I'm here. I was picking up my nephew, but I guess if you guys are doing voting, I guess I'll vote. Yeah, why not?
Yeah, coming back, you got like a huge like pickup artist top hat on. A big scarf on. Oh, yeah. Is this? I mean, yeah. You know what?
There's an election right now? Well, crazy.
You know what? I'll vote for it.
Again?
Let's do it.
All right. I guess I'll vote.
Yeah, but while you were doing that, y'all
Osama
sleeping.
bin voting.
You were actually Osama bin voting. I was Osama bin hustling. You have 24 hours in the day. I was Osama bin
getting hustled.
Well, because I've always said that like I get the Republican fear tactics. Obviously, I think. Like every fear tactic, it's there was a study that came out that who's more susceptible to fear. And I mean, they've done this a lot of times.
Women.
Yes, of course. Yeah. And it actually is that men with lower testosterone are more susceptible to fear, which I kind of, even get.
That makes sense.
No, I've even felt that in my own self when, like, for example, worried about people like let's say I'm posting wild stuff and I'm worried about, like, you know, people start quote tweeting me and some energy starts building against me or whatever, right?
Yeah.
When I'm like working out a lot and I'm in better shape, I actually feel that I'm less worried about that. I feel like if I'm like feeling schlubbier, like I was just touring nonstop and I have low energy and I feel like I'm not as in shape.
A lot of estrogen.
I have too much estrogen flowing through my body, and I do feel a little bit like, am I going to get in trouble?
Oh no, I don't want to get in trouble for my words.
Yeah, I do feel like that a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, I want to get in trouble. But when I'm, or even like at a bar, like, you know, when you're fucking, someone bumps you or something like that, when you're fucking jacked up, you're not so worried.
I must have high T then, because getting in trouble gets me so fired up.
Yeah,
I got 2 strikes in the last 2 weeks. Both had them removed.
Yeah, that's a dangerous.
Dude, I was like, I feel alive.
They call you Mr. T. Yeah, you were.
Dude, Mr. T isn't Teflon. Shouldn't say that. That's asking for trouble. But
well, I always think the ones being like, you know, they're coming for your kids, this and that. There's like lots of crime. That's the historical ones. You know what I mean?
I think legitimately, like the Zeldin dude lost New York just because of the abortion stance. Like, I think he could have won.
That's my 100%.
From that one thing.
That was a very big linchpin issue. No one people in New York aren't voting against abortion, right?
No.
But the thing that the big one where it's like, if you don't vote, the democracy's over. I feel like most people don't even know what that means. They're just like, oh my God, I don't want to have our democracy over. And you go, if you ask most people, like, what do you think that means that if you vote wrong, the democracy's over? They'd be like, I don't know, it sounds bad though.
Yeah. Crazy enough, by the way, too, it's like, because some were saying if you don't vote blue, then democracy specifically. And you're like, well, if you vote, though, that is democracy.
Duh!
Like, if you have it's one thing if you go...
I don't get it.
But if you don't vote, that's one thing where you go, okay, well, if you don't vote, then maybe eventually they're saying they'll take away your right to vote. You'll never be able to vote.
No, they're saying if you vote for the wrong guy, democracy's over.
Nonsense. You go, no, that is
crazy, right? But it's like, it's funny how that became the pitch campaign. So a lot of these people were worried that democracy was going to be, you know, dead and gone.
Yeah, it's like it's on the EKG right now. It's like, boop.
Exactly. And the one thing that could save it is your vote.
Yeah.
And this is the last thing.
Or
we'll
my
say
7
about
votes.
Fucking midterm elections, because whatever, right? But
fucking this. You know what these elections were? Mids.
They were mid. It was mid. Yeah, a little bit.
Election.
I did feel myself having trouble caring about, like, because even no matter what, elections are kind of like exciting, and I was, you know, reading all this stuff. This one I did feel like it was hard to give too much of a shit.
It's
about
terrible
any of
TV because it doesn't finish that night. It's still not.
That's even worse.
It's not even good TV.
Yeah, it's not even like you're watching and there's like a big reveal or something.
Like, I covered it on Low Value Mail yesterday until 11 o'clock, and you're like, yeah, we have like no information, and the show's over.
Yeah, there you go.
I was like, I don't know. I didn't even want to do this to begin with. I just had no choice.
Yeah.
11 o'clock, they're like, all right, nothing's in from out west.
Seemed like no one was happy. I'll tell you that much. No one on either side seemed to be happy with the results. But if you were having trouble and you thought democracy, this was for next time. This is the advice that this is in one of those syndicated publications, so it was everywhere.
The paper of record is where this was.
But I saw it in a different one, but it was also in the paper of record. You're right.
From the paper of record.
Oh, that's where it started.
That is the origin.
I saw it a lot of places.
Yeah.
Okay, 5 ways to soothe election stress from the paper of record. So this is what Rob Reiner was doing all of these, I think. You know what I mean? They go, try 5-finger breathing. So you trace the outside of your hand with your pointer finger. When you trace up, breathe in. When you trace down, breathe out. But I like the idea, because especially when we live in New York, the idea of going to Brooklyn and at every bar is just a bunch of like chicks like tracing their hand and stuff like that. It goes, cool down. Plunge your face into a bowl of ice water for 15 to 30 seconds. That's what I was like, can you imagine dating a chick that was like so hyped up about this? She's pacing around the house like, what if my guy loses? And then every 2 seconds dunking her head into a bowl of water.
I mean, the best is like, it'll be like the liberal girls in California where like it was never at risk.
Of course.
You're like, there's no scenario where we're losing this thing. And they're like, I can't take it.
I'll tell you who might be in that. A guy that just knocked up a girl. Yeah.
No, even he knows. He goes,
you're getting on the flight.
He goes, you want to move to Florida? Or?
No, but maybe the girl didn't want to or whatever, right? She was on the fence, and he's like, this is going to be really put him on the fence. And he's like, you can see that guy pacing around, dunking his head in the bowl
But he's
of water.
not doing the 5-finger breathing. He's doing the knife game on the hand.
He's doing knife game on the hand.
Yeah.
Breathe like a baby. It says big breaths, limit your scrolling. But all these things, if if you find yourself in a position with a midterm elections, you're pacing around for days on end, walking around the streets, having to put your head in a bowl of water, that's probably time where you go, listen, you need to get into crypto.
Crypto might be dead, my man.
Do you want to know my joke that I was kind of saying on the road that I've been saying that I was talking about how I posted this little part of it, but I've been talking about how Lizzo's trainer, because basically they're saying it's it's like a conspiracy, Kanye West doctor, and I was saying the real conspiracy is Lizzo's trainer. Like the man is not good at his job, folks. Right?
Yeah, that guy's just fucking.
But
whatever he is, he's not a trainer.
But I was loving the idea of saying that using Lizzo's personal trainer is the same as how I take crypto advice from my broke friends, and it both ends the same way: broke on the internet yelling about Jews. Pretty good, right?
That's solid, yeah. I've officially gone full circle on crypto. I was the OG. I was the original crypto's a scam guy. Then I got totally sucked in, and now I'm back to it's a scam.
Danny
full circle.
Yo, FTX was it FTX?
FTX, which is
this is the crypto corner. This is more like crypto square because you're a square that lost all your money. I'm down. I lost so much money already that there's not that much left to lose.
Yeah. No. Well, the problem is
can't lose money if you already lost it.
It's sitting there. I just can't get it.
So you can't get your money out.
No, and it doesn't look good.
Give me a little
FTX, which you would know them as, they're like the biggest. They're either the biggest. I think they're the biggest American crypto exchange run by this guy Sam Bankman-Fried, who is like up until 2 days ago was worth 20. I think this is $9 billion. He's been donated. He donated like $500 million to the candidates for the election because he's trying to get this crypto bill passed, right?
Which candidates? One's
both of them. He just he wants I'm pretty sure he gives money on both sides, but maybe it is the Democrats. I could be wrong. But he gives tons of money because he wants them to write this crypto bill that's like basically favorable, and he wants input, right? He's lost 95% of his net worth in the last like 24 hours.
Well, good thing he gave it away before that then.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. I'm sure he wants it back now though, because who gives a shit?
Can you imagine being worth what was he worth, like $1 billion?
No, like 30 billion.
And then now he's worth like $1 billion?
Less. I mean, he might be going to jail. No. He might be going to jail, dude.
Yo, that's like jump out window kind of stuff, right?
Illegitimate, dude. And he was like he was the darling of crypto, all this stuff, dude. Like
what's his name?
Sam Bankman-Fried. The Miami Heat's arena is the FTX arena.
Yeah.
And like if you watch baseball, all the umpires have FTX, like they sponsor Major League Baseball. But so anyways, what happened is he tried to do this like anti-competitive thing against Binance, which is the other big brokerage, whatever exchange. He tried to basically keep them out of the US. I don't know the exact thing. And so then some info started coming out that there's he has this other company called Alameda Research, which they said were separate, but then it's turning out they were the same companies.
And they were using the same money?
And their money was going back and all this interchange. And then the dude who runs Binance, CZ, was like, you know what, he announced, he's like, I'm selling all of my, the token, the FTX token for he had 500 million of something crazy. And then it just started a run. Everybody's like, oh, what's going on? And then
because there's no regulation on how much they have to have on reserve,
nothing,
they do with banks.
Yeah, exactly. There's none of that stuff. And then it started to run, but then it started exposing all these things where they were essentially printing their tokens out of thin air and then using it as collateral.
And you're not allowed to do that.
I mean,
there's no rules.
I think this is fraud. I do think this is fraud. I mean,
you know what? Especially in that world, there's such a fine line between fraud and faking it till you make it.
Well,
do you know what I mean?
The problem is risk management, because they, when you do crazy stuff like this, you have to foresee. You go, hey, what way can this all unravel?
Well, and who knows that better than me? When you're taking advice from Danny Polishuk, you got to do a bit of a risk management. When you say. The bull.
Yeah, the bull.
That is really if you were having sex with a girl and they wanted a bull, and then Danny's having sex with their wife in front of them, and they go, I was kind of hoping for a bull, and you go, yeah, I'm a crypto bull. Yeah, I'm like, what? Oh, you wanted A bull. I'm so sorry. I'm like a cryptocurrency bull.
I'm almost like feel jealous now of JJ because he lost all his money like that. I had it really dragged out.
My crypto I'm not even touching, but like everything else, I've lost so much money.
I mean, dude, I don't want to be like hyperbolic, and I'm sure a lot of people are going to be like, rolling their eyes.
Subscribe to our Patreon. So the moral of the story.
Yeah, please, God, do that. But no, to be honest, like it's one of those things where like this is going to be a really hard one for just the crypto space to come.
We're going to start a new show called Two Broke Guys. Two Broke Podcasters.
This is going to be a hard one for the crypto space to come back from because there's like, how can you put your money in it at this point? Dude, Bitcoin was, so today we're recording this on Wednesday.
It's not down that much though, is it?
Bitcoin was 1 year ago today.
Oh, 1 year ago.
$69,000. It's 16 grand right now.
My friend.
And it's getting killed with all this stuff because there's going to be a real contagion from all this FTX stuff. Dude, there's people who are
so you're saying it's a buy.
There are people right now who are
I bet there are.
Who are reporting that there's people who have like 9-figure balances on FTX they can't get out.
And you can't get out. Okay, you don't have to say the figure, but
it's 5 figures.
In the hundreds.
5 figures. Hundreds of figures. It's many. 5 figures.
Wow.
Locked in there.
And so what happens if you log in and you try to change it?
It literally, there's a red thing right now. I tried to do a withdrawal yesterday.
You've been hacked.
Yeah, you can't
beep,
even.
Beep, 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 sucker alert.
Pretty much.
You know what it says? It goes, type in your email and then we'll give it to someone who gives a shit because...
Yeah,
because you got hosed.
It
just has a fireman emoji on the screen with a hose.
Yeah, this guy is like, this might be one of the.
We got another sucker alert.
That's another thing too. So then he called the head of Binance because this whole thing was falling apart, and he's just was basically like, "Hey, do you want to buy FTX?" Which is crazy. You're like, you guys are fire selling the whole company, but he didn't want to sell the U.S., just the international, which is what I use. Because I couldn't use the U.S. And then the dude's like, I'm going to buy it. And then literally like an hour ago, he's like, we looked at it and we can't buy it. It's like too much of a mess. So it's full on death,
he's like,
death spiral.
He's saying if we get in there, it's going to be bad news.
And then the dude, would you see the Luna with Shkreli yesterday?
Do you have all your money in there? Or?
No, but I have a lot.
Oh, dude.
You know what?
Remember this time honestly, last year? Yes. Literally this day we were both on top of the world.
I know.
We were walking on sunshine.
The
crypto,
easy come, easy go. You know, it's the only thing is
it's easier go than it is easy come.
That it seems that way. It does, but
you're easy come for you because you made your money in crypto. I made my money fucking doing real stuff and then lost.
Well, the money that I got to put in crypto was from real stuff.
Mine definitely was easier go than easier come.
Yeah.
At least you lost yours doing what you love,
getting scammed.
At least that's so funny being like, at least he lost his money doing what he loves, talking about crypto. Holy shit, that sucks.
Oh yeah, it's wild though. But I mean, I don't see how people could be like, dude, Michael Saylor's about to blow up, if you remember that guy.
Blow up?
Well, so he took all the money on that monster company's balance sheet, and then they even borrowed like $2 billion to buy Bitcoin at like 45 grand.
Oh, what's gonna happen?
And apparently at 15,000, the whole company's bankrupt.
Oh my God.
But then at that point, they have to play their creditors. They have to start selling all the Bitcoin, which makes it go even further down.
So a lot of people are going to have to do that kind of shit.
No, I mean, if you look, today there's like a real contagion going on where like Apple is down probably because of this. Yeah.
Well, in other good news, the Austin shows this weekend were pretty sick. Thank you everyone for coming in. Did double the amount of tickets I did last year.
Nice.
That's sick. Okay. But that is sort of a funny thing. So I took a 6 a.m. Plane, right? You know, I stayed up all night because I was just like gonna have to leave at like 4 or whatever, right? So I get there, and I'm in a middle seat, and the guy beside me like recognizes me. He goes, "Hey, I was just sending my videos to you beside me, right?" So I was like, "Oh, okay." And then that guy starts talking. Then the guy to my right walks up or starts talking. He goes, "Hey guys, how's it going?" And we're just like, "Oh, hey." He goes, I just coming here from Ukraine. I'm a refugee." And I go, "Oh," and he's like, he can't speak English, and he starts tearing up a little bit. And he's like, this is 6 a.m. I'm just literally like, all right, like this guy just recognized me. I'm already kind of.
You have a middle seat?
Yeah, a middle seat, but it's in the comfort, the longer leg room. So it's it was not that bad, right? But so I'm already there being like, ugh, now I have to sleep beside like a bunch of people that kind of are paying attention to me, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then this guy starts talking about Ukraine and he looks at me and he's like, yeah, I had to leave my family behind. War is terrible. And he goes, I've had a lot of guilt about that. And I've been seeing a therapist and I just decided that I need to look out for myself. So I've left my loved ones behind in the war and I'm, moving to Austin and I want to be a DJ. He wants to be a DJ, he says, right? He's
like, yo, it's pretty fucked up. You just like, you're a dude and you left your whole family to like...
Well, that's
rot in the Ukraine.
He said his therapist has been telling him, this is what therapists do. This therapist told him no, and he was a gay dude, right? Because I know that because
that's why he was.
At one point, I was trying to keep it light. I was like, oh, you got to get marry someone. That's how you stay here. And he goes, yeah, or a husband. And I go, yeah, I thought you were gay, so I didn't say a wife. He's like, I didn't even say it. I just go, yeah, marry someone because I figured he had a little bit of a gay vibe. And then he goes, yeah, or a husband, and to like correct me because I said wife, but I didn't.
Yes.
Like, you know what I mean?
Oh my God.
So he's like a gay, like clubber dude, like, Ukrainian, like,
Eastern Euro trash.
Oh yeah. But he started crying. And then this went on for like 20 minutes to the point where obviously it sucks, but legitimately I had 2 things going on. 1, people were paying attention to me that recognized me. And 2, this guy's crying to me and I'm literally basically being like, crazy, dude.
Yeah.
And then he's like, yeah. And then, they blew up this area. And I'm like, nuts, dude. All right. Yeah.
Got a bone up on my Ukrainian geography. I haven't really heard of that.
So
place.
He just goes, and then basically, this guy talked to me for a good 2.5 hours. So I didn't sleep on the plane. I just sat there and listened to this Ukraine guy tell me his whole life story.
Sick. Is he going to be a guest on the pod?
Isn't that a nightmare?
That's why you got to have like a sleep mask or something.
Yeah, but it's hard when a guy's being like, and I left my family to die and I had to quit my job and I don't have any money, but hopefully it works out. And I had to be like, well, the sleep mask is on though, pal.
Dude, I've had a long one, so.
Yeah. Isn't that wild?
That's a lot, yeah. And he was sitting on one side of you and the other guy was on the other side?
That's bad news.
That's rough.
Isn't that wild?
That is rough.
But yeah, so he was a defector, I guess. Shout out.
You should have been like, dude, you should have just taken the other, just shut
I don't
shut the whole thing. Yeah, I don't sit next to fucking traitors.
I don't sit next to cowards.
It's fucking America. I'm not from here, but I don't sit next to cowards.
Imagine I go hard on that one. Yo, did you hear what this guy's doing over here?
Yeah, this guy fucking abandoned his whole family.
Hey, pilot, I don't feel comfortable with this guy near the latch. He's known to abandon ship.
Oh, yeah, you're in the safety row. She asked the question.
Turbulence.
She goes, are you okay with it? And he goes, I'll tell you what he's not okay with. We cannot trust this guy right here if there's a safety emergency.
If there's a terrorist on the plane, we know this guy's going to be on the side of the terrorist.
Yeah. Checking for box cutters.
So Uber had probably the best ad I've ever seen. So this is Uber India, and their ad says, you're going to the beach to spread grandpa's ashes. Get your ride right. Uber. Isn't that the best? Because essentially they had some other ones, but I was thinking, it was making me laugh, the idea that there was just one really morbid guy in the...
I guess that's their culture. That's what they do.
No, everyone it was the opposite. It's everyone being like, hey, how's it going? Like, I was thinking, you're going to the wedding. You want to have the right ride. Uber. And the other guy's like, you're spreading your dead grandpa's ashes. They go, all right, our pick.
They hired like a goth kid or whatever. Like, they're like, hey, so we're diversity in the workplace. And we hired this goth kid.
Indian goth.
Yeah, Indian goth. And he goes, when you're drinking the blood of Satan... Spread grandpa's ashes, Uber.
Yeah, exactly.
Not exactly what we were thinking, but...
Your wife's on life support. Today's the last day that you're going to get to see her. She'll be unresponsive, but it might be nice to look her in the eyes one last time. She never really loved you the way you thought you did. It'd be nice to see her one last time. Hopefully you can make it in time. You're already running late. Uber.
How about this one? Her water just broke, and you know what that means. She needs an abortion ASAP, but you can't find your keys. Uber.
Yeah. You got fired from your job. You were already running low on money. You're going to have to pull your kid out of private school. You're going to have to go home and tell your wife you don't want her. She's probably going to leave you, but it's got to be done. You're probably going to have to tell her she's going to pawn that new ring you bought her. You're going to want to go to that pawn shop in style. Uber.
You're gay and none of your family knows it yet. Uber.
Yeah, you're going to want to go over there and fucking tell them.
It's time to tell them. Uber.
Yeah, the other people are like, you're going to a fun birthday party. Uber. Maybe you're going to the club that night. You had a couple more to drink. Get the nice ride. The other guy's like, your child got murdered. You got to go to the morgue to identify the body. Limited time. Uber Black.
It's like you just bought 2 guns from a gun show illegally, and now you're trying to find the closest school. Uber.
Yeah, you're about to do a heinous crime, but your getaway driver had a day off. He's not feeling good. He got COVID, but you still got a gun. So your getaway driver could be anyone you choose it to be. Uber. And they said, now for an ad agency, Johannes Leonardo, so this is the guy, he conceptualized the 4th ad copy that triggers memories of the dead This is screams of an advertising guy that thinks he's going to get an ad for his for being provocative.
Oh, yeah. This is an award. He goes, this is going to be an award.
For sure. This guy's already counting his chickens. My uncle is in advertising, and he won best ad of the country. And it was Jaguar ad.
Okay.
And so it was a Jaguar ad, and it had, I can't remember exactly, but it basically had like a leash on the Jaguar trying to tame it.
Oh.
Because it goes too fast, I think.
That's cool. What year was this?
Maybe like 10 years ago. This is a big topic in the family.
I guess.
The Jaguar ad was a hot topic in the family.
Yeah.
Well, he won all the awards. Now I know how the awards come a little easier.
Yeah, but that's not.
No, it's okay, ad. Yeah.
Do you guys have like the magazine? Is there a magazine with one of the ads somewhere?
Oh, they're everywhere, dude.
Yeah.
We used to have to, it was our Bible.
You do that thing where you go like you're on like a tray and have it open. You go,
that's
my uncle.
Anytime anyone did.
Related to this guy.
Yeah, you leave it. No, you leave it on there. You go, that's crazy. That's my uncle's thing. Anytime I came home, you know what I mean? I'd be like, I got A's on all my subjects. Like, that's crazy. Your uncle just won best advertising of the country.
In all of Canada. So.
Yeah, so a little weird that you got that. Just knocked up a girl. You left her jacket at her house. Her new boyfriend's there. He's going to kick the shit out of you. But that jacket was your dead father's. Uber. So huge news for the big titty teacher.
Yeah.
And so our girl, what's her name?
I don't know.
So there's been a lot of talk.
Something Lemieux, Caitlin Lemieux. I want to say that's what it is.
Caitlin. Yeah. Are all trans people named Caitlin? I need a percentage of
maybe
trans
not
people
Caitlin. Maybe not
Caitlin.
Caitlin. Something Lemieux.
Katie, there she is, Kato Rooney.
That legit might have been
the Kate Meister.
Kate man, not man.
Kato Rooney.
I don't remember what her name was.
Titties.
Titties.
So the titties girl has been vindicated because they were trying to clamp down on her dress code, and then they came out and they said that she can wear whatever she wants.
Yeah, because it would be discrimination.
Katie.
The Kate man, not man.
The Kate woman. The Kate woman. The Kate. The Kate-ster.
I mean, they said exactly what you thought a school board would say.
Of
course.
course.
We don't want to say anything or do anything. So
no, I know. Who saw this coming?
Not a prank, though. Because I remember that was
what you were
going around for a while. Everybody goes, this is a prank. And because there was a 4chan thing post saying, yeah, this guy's my teacher, or woman is my teacher, and is fed up of all this stuff, and this is just like
we said that's probably not true though.
Yeah, I said it's not true, but now I think this confirms that.
So what was the thing?
Or they're calling the bluff. They're saying, oh, yeah, you want us to like fire you? How about we accept you, shop teacher?
You wear this forever. Yeah,
you do this for life.
That is one of those things. If she was trying to get fired or make a statement or something like that, if her plan was like, I'll do this, I'll get fired, then I'll collect my, discrimination money.
Absolutely.
Then I'm going to
retire, get a boat, go up to the Muskokas.
Get a boat, maybe get even bigger titties.
Maybe.
And then now they're like, no, you can be a shop teacher till you die, and you have to be a shop teacher with the titties.
Yeah. It's like a curse now.
They can't take the titties off. That is the curse of the titties.
Well, as someone who's worn these things, they're hard to take off.
You have the same ones?
I have like basically
it's almost impossible to walk around with those, right?
Man, I was going to wear them maybe on Halloween, and then I was like, fuck that. Like, dude, even just wearing them for low value mail, like you start sweating a bit because it's latex and it's wrapped around you. So you're sweating. And then once it gets wet, like moist or whatever, it's really hard to get off.
That is
like
a
I was like
nightmare.
getting stuck. I guess you got to baby powder the shit out of yourself.
It feels like
doing this every day?
someone that would get those if they were like, they were driving drunk and then they hit a gypsy and then the gypsy lady gets up and she goes, "I curse you, titty."
Yeah. You go the giant tits, but also on your back.
Then your chick wakes up, she's got like bigger titties. You go, titties are like weirdly bigger, and she's like, then it just never stops.
Yeah,
and then eventually it's Caitlin.
Yeah,
they Caitlin.
Yeah, so they can't do anything at the Halton District School Board.
Yeah,
that's where that was my school board.
That was your school board.
Yeah.
This is my favorite article that we've had in a while. So Your Tango, which is always delivers.
Yep.
And Danny did thorough research to make sure that fucking this is a real person and stuff like that, because some of these you don't know.
No, you can never know.
But if you don't know, now you know. Real person.
Real person.
So, what it's like to have white husband privilege.
No one knows what it's like to have white husband privilege.
Because we're the bad man. The sad man. Yo, that is pretty good though. Anytime you're dating a girl, that should be in your, baby, I can give you everything you want. You need that white husband privilege. I can get you that white man privilege, girl. Yo, you ever know what it's like to be privileged? Giving a girl an article and be like, "This could be you, baby. You get that privilege, baby."
If you had to guess for the author, what wave of feminist she describes herself?
69.
Third
wave. I've got a white husband. Blue eyes, pale skin. Guy sounds like a bitch in the article, by the way.
I mean, she says she's queer, too.
Yeah. No, all of this stuff sounds... she sounds like maybe the worst person you could be married to.
Really bad.
But what I'm saying is she describes like a really like sort of dorky white guy, and then she's like, he walks around and just gets respect from everyone, and it's like, doesn't it really...
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like this guy's getting as much privilege as he thinks he is.
Yeah.
Pale skin, uses $10 words, drinks cider. His pants have a minimum of 6 pockets, and they come in one color, beige. So we're
cargo pants.
Yeah, so we're talking about a dork wearing sandals and cargo pants, and she's like, "Man, your life is just so..." People roll their eyes when they see that guy. Could he got sandals with the toes, the shoes with the toes in them and stuff like that?
Guaranteed.
Like she's describing, a classic nerd.
Yeah, weird stock photo choice too. Whoever sent this to me, they noted on that as well. That they go, the stock photo choice was like obviously a black woman and a white man, but she's not.
What is she?
She's like she's not. She's brown and
she's brownish.
Yeah, but she's like specifically they brought up the darks and it was color.
I feel like that is more of a brown guy thing, because a brown woman thing, because I think like your average black girl probably wouldn't be like, "Oh, I'm this cargo guy with this, toe sandals and his hiking apparel and a carabiner attached to his fucking cargo pants."
But I'm like, why not use a photo of the two of you?
Maybe she doesn't want to give up her privilege. She thinks it might affect her privilege.
Also, she describes herself as a queer woman of color, but she's talking about her husband.
He votes left of the left. So it's like, and now he's basically got like an "I'm with her" shirt on, the whole thing. You know what I mean? And he marches alongside his brown spouse at TBTN and Pride. So he goes to every march with his cargo pants, just probably tweets a lot.
Yeah.
This guy is worried about democracy, put it that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
January 6th stressed him the fuck out. Put it that way.
It currently does.
He
wakes up a lot to be like, January 6th.
Yeah, he wakes up worrying about January 6th.
And he's not even American. He's Canadian.
Sorry. I just woke up. I had a dream that I didn't have my privilege anymore, and then unfortunately I woke up with it. Luckily, I can give some to my wife.
Yeah, these are both Canadians, by the way, so they're not even... That's even worse.
Even worse. He looks like a stereotype from a smartphone ad. White, male, moneyed, confident. No doubt my white husband and privileged. When he speaks, people listen to him. They even hear him. This is where it's like, when in your real life, if there's a guy walking around with cargo pants, "I'm with her" shirt, he's got a fucking pussy hat on with his fucking queer yeah.
He's talking. He has something to say.
Yeah, this guy walks in, he goes, "Excuse me." Oh my God, everybody, he's speaking. Ladies and gentlemen, please quiet down. Our Lord and Savior is speaking. If you don't vote, democracy will implode.
It will die with a whimper.
Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez is a queen. And that's where it's funny. He's like, she literally described like the most like dorky dude.
Yeah.
You're like classic, caricature of probably like a kind of a dorky whatever, cuck or whatever.
Sure.
And then she goes, when he talks, people listen.
Oh, people listen. Like he's Beto O'Rourke or something.
Yeah, especially because if you're in the circles these two probably hang out in, it's even more of like
he's like a third-class citizen.
That's what I'm saying.
Like
yeah,
they probably have like date nights with all their friends, and him and all the other white guys sit at the kids' table.
That's what I mean. What if this guy's like living in that world? You know what I mean? Going to every single march. That's not really the type of people where it's like, oh, the white guy has something to say.
Sure.
We all fucking
we all respect
down.
the white man when he talks.
Yeah, it's like they're in the same world.
I mean, he might not even exist.
That's even
potentially
possible too. When he speaks, people listen. When he speaks and they hear him, even when I'm the one talking to them, they still respond to him. But it's like your hipster friends, you'd think, right? So when I dialogue with the male plumber or the male mechanic, I ask my white husband to make himself scarce. This is where it starts getting good.
Okay.
So essentially, she calls a plumber or whatever, right? And then it's like the plumber comes and he goes, "You have to wait in the garage."
Wait in the crawl space.
So, and you go, I'll tell you what, if you go the type of guy that like when he speaks, people listen, do you think that guy goes and waits in the other room so his wife can speak to the plumber?
Yes, honey. I'll be there. Just let me know if you need anything help negotiating.
Yeah. I'll be, where do you want me to wait? In the vent? But last time I got my back, excuse me? He goes, I'll wait in the vents.
She like makes him flinch. She goes, ah.
Yeah, exactly. So she's talking to the plumber or the mechanic. So when they go to the mechanic,
yeah,
your wife makes you wait around the corner while she talks. Well,
you think he peps her up? He goes, "Honey, you got this. You don't need me. I'm just a white guy. He's a white guy. You can do this."
Yeah, exactly. You know what's even funnier is probably like her going, them going to imagine he's paying for it. And she goes, "We're going to the mechanic or whatever." And she goes, "You wait around the corner." And then coming back to pick you up, like when you're sitting on the curb. And she goes, "What?" He goes, "Fortunately, we needed the works." Like, he's got fucking rinsed into everything. She told me if we got new brake pads.
Oh, he's got
double oil change.
I mean, I'm a white guy. He wouldn't lie to me, right? I'm getting the best possible price.
We got the whole transmission fucking souped up, and he goes to go, "Great negotiating, honey." if I was there, it probably wouldn't have worked so good. Husband will wait. Yo, if you ever dated a girl and the mechanic came and she asked you to wait in the other room.
She goes, the adults are talking. Let's go wait in the other room. And go, what?
Make yourself scarce is the word she used. Otherwise, these men will just direct their questions at him. Long after my husband explicitly declares that house and car repairs are my jurisdiction. This is the ultimate man.
I'm the vice president of getting pegged, and that's it.
Yo, your husband has to declare that. That is, if we're talking about financials or plumbing or any garage repairs or car problems, that is the Mrs. jurisdiction. However, if you are talking about pegging and dildos that we will be using or paying for said, but what's your department? Paying for said.
I mostly pay for the stuff with her money. That's my money.
That's my money,
We
too.
do say it's her money.
So that sounds like a man thing. He's got to wait outside while your chick talks to the plumber because it's her jurisdiction. It's the fucking woman's jurisdiction. Just a man's man.
She does say she's queer though, so maybe she is good at plumbing and stuff. Maybe she's one of those
queers.
Yeah, that does sound like.
Yes, I could take my money somewhere less sexist and racist and find another plumber, electrician, mechanic, painter, landscaper, or mover. So these are all the things he has to wait outside that are her jurisdiction. A mover's less crazy because like I can see being like, you care more about the stuff.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Electrician, like what does she know about being an electrician, you think?
Nothing.
Painter, I'd say that's fine if a painter's. That sounds like the girl's jurisdiction. Landscaper
Sounds like anything. Anything. She goes, I deal with
I deal with everything.
Yeah. He doesn't deal with anything.
The only thing I'll say is if she's paying for everything and he's like, yeah, you know what I mean? It's one of those things where there is a little bit of a accidentally for the boys where it's like, hey, the plumber's coming by today and someone's got to speak to him at 7 a.m. He goes, I would never intrude on your jurisdiction.
Yeah, no way. Yeah, he goes, like, people are like, we're blowing up his shit right now. He's like, yo, shut up.
Yeah, shut the fuck up. I haven't done anything in 10 years. You know what I mean?
Let her handle it.
The rodent guys here.
You know how it is with rodents and white guys. Privilege.
I wouldn't want to have to use my privilege again. That's him putting his privilege away. Where are you going to be? He just calls his man cave a boy cave. He goes, I'm in the boy cave. I'm in the little boy cave. Whereas the woman's cave, I wish that I was so lucky to be in the woman's cave, and her cave is just like a tiny little office, you know what I mean, in the corner. Where I have to be in the crappy boys' cave. Yes, I could take my money to those places. I prefer to make a stand alone. That would be one too. Where if you were the plumber and you're like, hey, what's going on? And you're just like, so basically you got the pipes are, clogged. So she goes, I know what a pipe is. You go, okay. So it's going to be 50. You think I don't know what a pipe is? And you go, is your husband?
Yeah, is this really what's going on?
Can I talk to your husband? Is that a possibility? And you go, what the fuck? What the fuck? I prefer to make the stand alone. I force these predominantly white men to engage in me. That's what, by the way, if you're like a mover, it's like, and you're like, hey, we're coming here to move the stuff. And the client is like, hey, we'll take that box. And you go, like, what one is like, needs to be forced to listen to the person that hired them.
Also, these are all like blue collar workers. So like the idea that they all have this like white privilege if they
they're all, the
white,
plumber.
They're like, what? I'm a plumber. Like,
he's like some Portuguese guy.
Yeah, he goes, what? But I don't know. I've heard of it.
Yeah, half the guys like speak broken English. Yeah, you know what I mean? Excuse me.
Like from Serbia, and you go, oh, you're white. You go, what?
Yeah. Guy came to clean your drains. You're giving him a lecture about privilege.
And I hope you're gonna include your person of color discount. Goes, what do you talk about?
Wait, what is these discounts you talk about?
Person of color? What?
After all, I'm the only one here. My white husband is off searching for organic thermal socks.
Yuck.
So I told you, he's like he's the full package of like khaki shorts and thermal socks. Just a real man, I want to go out on a limb and say he doesn't quite seem like the alpha white man that's being described.
No. He doesn't.
Dripping toxic masculinity.
He's not like who's a Liam Hemsworth.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not interested in drama. It's already exhausting being a brown woman, especially one who is much more butch than femme. So this guy's life's not great.
No. More butch than femme. His white privilege is not being allowed to kill himself. That's his white privilege.
It's also funny. Your wife's like, so this is what this guy's life's been described as. So he's wearing all the stuff. He's going to every protest. He's not allowed to speak when his wife's speaking. Anytime they deal with any sort of sales representative, he has to go wait in the car. And she's gross.
Yeah. More butch than femme. He goes, honey, you think we could turn up the femme a bit? She goes, that's your white privilege talking. I go, sorry.
I just did a little bit of, how I like my graphs. I did a little bit of a graph analysis on you go. And I just was thinking that you've been sticking it to the patriarchy a lot with your looks. And I was just thinking that maybe if you were a femme, it would also stick to the patriarchy. If you were to, for example, cut the armpit hair, that might also teach them a lesson.
In a sort of backwards manner. Plus, I am part of the patriarchy, so this does hurt me, but I guess
no, he has to go the other way around. He goes, I was just thinking how much I love your armpit hair, and being a white man, if you would like to cut it, that would really stick it to me. That would really teach me a lesson.
Yes, you know how white men love armpit hair.
So if you could maybe do me, I deserve it, that wrongful treatment. More butch than femme. White people don't see me. Heterosexual men are baffled in general. I'll tell you one thing. The last thing you'd ever want your girl to be described as is you go, is that guy's girl hot? And you go, I'm just baffled. I'm baffled.
More butch than femme, if that helps.
What does she look like? Very baffling.
Baffling. Puzzling?
Just trust me.
I'm often puzzled.
Just trust me.
Do you remember that Saturday Night Live character, Pat?
Yeah.
That's who they are.
Hey, I'm going to set you up on a date. How would you describe the girl? I'd say she's baffling.
Or bafflingly hot? Sure. Yeah.
I guess sort of baffles me in general.
I guess.
That question actually does baffle me.
Yeah.
So it's the last way you want your wife to be described as baffling.
Yeah.
So heterosexual men are just baffled by her. Just completely baffled. Not sure what to make of her. They go, is this a woman? Is this a person? All I do know is that when the dishwasher repair guy comes,
when the invoices come out, an adult is dealing.
That's
with
what
it.
happens. Yeah, no. What they mean is the heterosexual men are baffled by her when they were able to sell her the works on the first day. You know what I mean?
They go, I think you need a whole new house. And they go, sure.
Yeah, if we need it, we need it. I'm the one who makes those decisions, and no one's gonna tell me what to do. Guys, the guy goes, how'd you fucking sell that girl the works on your first day? He goes, I'm baffled by it too, dude.
Yeah, who knows?
That girl's baffled me. To receive the same amount of service and courtesy that my white husband receives can take repeat visits, often conversations. Repeat visits. So the plumber's got to come back 2 times just so she can get the same amount of service as her husband.
Yeah, and charge twice as much.
Yeah, so the plumber's like, we can probably do this in one time. It's like, no, you're going to come back twice and bill me.
Yeah, bill me both times.
And you're going to bill me both times.
Not some POC charity case over here. And he goes, okay.
What's going to happen? You're going to bill me for it, and I'm going to get twice as much service because I'm going to get the same amount of service as your husband. There's a husband here? I thought it's a 1-bedroom apartment. He's in the closet.
Like literally? Or he goes literally in the closet. And
No,
we have some ideas.
What happens is they finally go, he hits the thing, he goes, all right, you're good to go, hits the trunk, it opens up, he walks out of it.
Get a little knock on the trunk.
Yeah, get a little knock on the trunk, it pops open. First, they have to overcome the surprise that I'm articulate. Yeah, like all the
that's
working.
I know that's the main thing. That's like the existence that they live in is nobody is like, even in Canada. So any person who's not
45-year-old woman's just like, hey, how's it going? You're
whoa,
I'm baffled.
Whoa, what's going on there?
Yeah. Oh, what are you? Some kind of university
what
professor?
What happened to the accent, huh?
Yeah. I was expecting like a poo kind of situation. I was expecting Miss Nahasapita Pedala, and I'm finding out that I'm dealing with Mrs. Rockefeller.
Oh, what are you, born in Canada or something? What's going on there?
Yeah, so what's wrong with you, miss? You go, yeah, the toilet's clogged. You go, whoa, holy crap, with the big words there, eh? Slow it down.
Oh, fucking little Einstein over here, huh?
Hey, Terry, check this one out.
Well, fucking white Einstein.
No, brown Einstein.
Brown Einstein.
Check it out, Terry. This girl's a fucking one of those brainiacs you've been hearing about. I didn't know they made him in brown there, eh, Terry?
This is
like
her life.
In Canada, where it's like 90% like these are like doctors and shit.
Yeah,
doctors and finance guys and like professors and like pretty high end jobs. The idea that like some Indian woman, you're just like so baffled that
she had this experience one time, and now that's just like her whole life. Every person's baffled every time she doesn't have a thick
She probably
accent.
uses such big words, dude. She's like, indubitably. And they go, what? She goes, yeah, I know that one.
Like, oh, no, we don't.
Surprise you?
We were plumbers. I don't know. We're not.
Hey, Rondi, check it out. This girl is fucking, she just knows, she's like a human dictionary, eh? So the guys are just flabbergasted that she's like, not completely mental.
Yeah.
So they surprised that I'm articulate and know what I'm talking about. And the funny part too, a lot of the stuff she said, like for example, she was saying like, the electrician, the plumber, the painter. She goes, she's like, I'm an expert and I know what I'm talking about. If you were, you wouldn't hire them.
Yeah, for sure.
If you're like, hey, I'm going to do some painting in my house, you go, I'm an expert at that. You'd be like, most likely.
Can you not just direct your cuck husband to do this stuff?
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
The husband's never touched. He's got hands like mine,
Yeah.
soaking in ivory.
He's a bug man.
He fellow bug man.
Oh, yeah.
And then they have to digest their discomfort about serving a brown woman.
Yeah.
That's another one. So she says she goes to, this girl's got real, you know what I mean? She's on. Also this fun. She's like, because she has this whole thing where she was like, this is one of those misconceptions that feel like it always happens, where she's described herself as like unattractive.
Yes.
You know, this is something that
More
she's
butch than femme.
More butch than femme. So she's like, you know, I'm talking to all these men, and they're like, you know, giving me the time and not giving me the time of day because I'm brown. And it was like, no, because you're not hot.
Yes. Also, not all trades are white.
Of course.
There's so many, like if you need a plumber who's not white.
Well, her theory was that even those guys respect her white husband. Like even the Jamaican guy that comes in to do some, you know, repairs on the lawn, even that guy respects her white husband with the Birkenstocks and the whole thing. And his "I'm with her" shirt. The Jamaican guy's like, "Whoa, man, you deserve respect, man."
It's like, yeah, the whole thing's like,
we got an alpha, man.
alpha man. He goes, nah, there. All right, let's see what you're doing.
Yeah, I'll be that bomb clad alpha man.
Alpha man.
Yeah, so that's it.
I will say it's fascinating, her bio, because she's like a writer. But
what does the bio say?
Her bio, this is like an interesting like look into these type of people, because so she's like an author, right?
Yeah.
So like if you were an author, because you know your bio usually includes your credits, but when you're in this kind of like world, your credits are like your
other articles.
No, but I'm saying yes.
Oh, it's your like identities?
Yes. So her bio is, her name's Camilla Esla, and it goes, is a brown mother, a third wave feminist, and a trauma survivor.
The trauma of having to date with a white husband. Yeah. The trauma was the refrigerator repairman trying to talk to her husband.
Yeah, they arranged a play date, and she was not cool with it. But it is fascinating how, like, you would never think for your bio to just be like stuff about you.
But it's also stuff that, like, yeah, almost like stuff why your life's hard.
Yeah, but that's more
like
important almost.
List,
yeah, but that's more important in her world to list the grievances to get you stuff versus being like, yeah, I want a prize for my
It'd be
writing.
like a dude being like a guy, you're trying to make that, and they go, hey, what's your credits? And you like bring it on stage. Someone goes, what's your credits? You go, I got beat up at a bar once. My dad hit me.
Yeah, sodomized when I was 12. Just say those three. That's fine.
Yeah, those three are fine. If you don't remember them all, that's fine. You go, what have you done? You go, what's your credits? You go, NBC was on when my dad beat me once. Kimmel, Fallon, I wasn't allowed to watch because they put me in a cage.
You know, just any one of those is fun.
Yeah, any one of those.
Yeah, you can catch me next week getting pushed in front of a subway car.
Just for Laughs was happening at the same time that I got fucking my face slashed on the subway.
You know. Just feel free to use any of those.
Yeah, if either one, whatever works for you before you bring them. Yeah. But also, what restaurant are you going to where the server is like an Indian woman? You go in Canada, sits down. You know what I mean?
This is like that fake thing with the chick who went to the restaurant in Europe, and they're like, "Oh, you better have everybody watch your fries. There's a fat woman here." Remember that article?
Yeah.
You're like that. You go, neither of these things are reality.
That one, it is possible though, because there was a few of them. It's possible that obviously they overblown it, but it's possible that someone made a joke.
Yeah,
and maybe
but there was a number of things.
No, that one did. It was crazy though. Yeah.
Yeah, that didn't happen. And that person was trying to be a comedian or a writer or something. They're always writers.
So this is where we're at right now. People are just disgusted they have to serve her. She's just, no one will talk to her. They only talk to her white husband. She's more butch than femme. People are baffled by her appearance. And they're also baffled by the fact that she can speak English.
Yeah. More butch than femme. That's rough.
More butch than femme. What would you rather have your white girl described as? More butch than femme or baffling?
Baffling.
Because baffling could be good.
Yeah, baffling. She could be hot and baffling.
But
more butch than femme, you go.
No, I think it's more like, you know.
Are you getting what, G.I. Jane kind of scenario?
Yeah, you go, that's a girl, right? And you go, I'm baffled too. Like, I feel like you're almost baffled by the gender.
I thought she would just be like kind of just wacky and crazy, baffling. Just her, yeah, you go. She used lipstick on her eyebrows. You know, baffling. She's hot though.
Super wacky.
Very wacky.
She used lipstick on her eyebrows. She has the wackiest appearance ever. She got, fucking shoes for gloves and gloves for
yeah,
shoes.
Totally baffling.
Well, she puts her shoes on the wrong feet. She's got a glove on her ear. Just very baffling.
Yeah, you know.
tie around her head. Super baffling.
Baffling.
Very baffling woman. I'm loving that. When my white husband appears at school to speak with the white female principal, he's treated like an involved, concerned parent. Well, I'm construed as reactive, demanding, and hysterical. What do you think those?
I will say generally at a parent-teacher thing, it is the woman who's more like, I would guess that is the dynamic.
It's the opposite at a parent-teacher meeting. Is the woman would be the one that they listen to more.
Yeah,
I guarantee. I mean, put it this way: I was a guy that's been suspended probably 8 or 9 times in my life.
Yeah.
And I had to have like parent-teacher meetings many times. Like I would say that the amount of times both my parents had to come in and me sit there and get scolded in front of my teacher is like well into the teens. You know what I mean? I think about if you went to school for 12 years, like easily 2 a year. Like, so it's not crazy to say 25. So I think I'm an expert in that field. And 100% the vibe is the teacher speaking to your mom.
For sure. For sure.
And you could call that its own version of sexist or whatever, but like what she's describing is not the case where they go, your husband's speaking.
The man is speaking. Most teachers are women.
And they speak, yes, exactly.
Yeah, so you're saying these female teachers are being like, hey, lady, shut the fuck up. I'm going to talk to your husband. Like, stop it.
I tell you, this is one of the fucking my favorite articles, the way that they describe
Stop it.
The readers are baffled.
Everybody's
but also,
baffled. It's
it's one of those things where you don't want to, it's like you can't ever like say this in the heat of moment, but it's like, anytime if you were dating a girl, and especially when she's a bit of a handful and she comes home and she's like, can you believe at work they accused me of being hysterical? And you're like, I mean, were you being hysterical?
Yeah. It doesn't matter.
She goes, every time she goes to these parent-teacher meetings, she gets described as hysterical. You go, love to hear the other side of that story before I make my judgment.
I mean, there's a bit of hysteria, a general hysteria peppered throughout this whole article.
Baffling hysteria.
Yeah, baffling hysteria.
So I just say this. The fact that you might have been a little hysterical, I would not rule completely out of the question. Why don't we just leave it at that?
They got some notes on you when you come in. They have an idea of what. For
100%.
Yeah, they go like, watch out, underline.
Just be careful before you come in. 1,000%. It's like Seinfeld where they write the doctor's got the notes on you.
Like like the teacher from like the previous year is going to go. So this chick's gonna come in. She's a fucking mental case.
Okay? 100.
Just if you want to have a funny time, just talk to the husband.
Oh yeah, you want to really get her fucking jeans
like if you
going?
want to just steam coming out of her ears, just ignore her and talk to the husband.
No, it's funny. It's a parent-teacher interview where they're all together, and he goes, one of them's, he just gave you a note, like just watch out. One of the parents are hysterical, and then you're like, which one? Oh, she's got the lipstick on her face. Okay, she walks in with
the one that looks like a bag lady. Yeah, I got
she walks in with the shoes on her hands. You go, I think.
Gotcha.
All right, we think we know which one it is here. Yes. Okay, but you ready for what she does? This is it. So when I visited the principal, my husband comes along as the supporting cast. He sits turned towards me, forcing the principal to speak to me or the side of my husband's head, and he repeats what I say word for word in a show of solidarity. It's not hysterical when he says it.
So, but does he face her to the side when he's repeating?
Yo, legitimately, the two of them go in like this, and then the teacher's there, and he doesn't look at the teacher. He just looks at his wife.
Yeah.
He has his
and she's
full
facing
body
this way.
Yeah. So she looks at him, and he just defers to him. Like, this guy's basically one step away from being on a leash.
Yeah.
It's almost unbelievable.
But then it says that he repeats word for word. So that
well,
she
you
says,
say so, yeah.
So she'll go, so what's the problem with our son?
So what's the problem with our son?
That's what I'm saying. You're saying it to me, and you go, why you? And then I'd be like, what are you, stupid? What are you talking to me for? Talk to him. And he goes, sorry, honey.
Okay, yeah, say something else to her.
He goes, so I've noticed, how are his reading comprehension skills doing?
How are his reading comprehension skills going?
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, would you go, would she be like, what's happening here?
You're the principal?
How has no teacher been like, what are you doing? What is this you're doing?
Yeah, what's the
and she goes, it's because you don't listen to me. And the guy's like, I'll listen to you fine. He goes, you don't though.
You don't,
honey,
though.
Keep doing it.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Yes.
You don't though. The guy.
Yeah. Just looking away. You go, this is odd.
It's like in those old movies where the mobster has the big guy around him that kind of says the same thing. You know, he whispers and he goes, Mr. Big says that he don't like when you do that.
She's a bit of a gangster.
She says she says she's not being hysterical. You're being hysterical. Can you face me when you talk? I'm not allowed.
I'm not allowed. I would love to bring it up with the missus.
Yes, it's theatrical, a manipulation of white male privilege, but it works to take the edge off. That seems like it would take some edge on.
Yeah.
We don't have a sponsor this episode, but it is brought to you by patreon.com/theboyscast, where a new fire episode comes through every week. And when we get to 2,000 patrons, we will be doing the Bugathlon.
The Bugathlon. Bum, 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 bum.
Bugman versus Bugman.
Yes.
In the feet to see who's the real Bugman. And we're going to be recording it and putting it on the Patreon.
Yes. Also, subscribe to my YouTube channel.
Subscribe to Danny's YouTube channel. Ryan
underscore at Danny. Or at underscore Danny.
Ryan Longstore. Fighting dueling sponsors.
Dueling sponsors.
And we'll both use them at the same time. Ryan
underscore at Danny. At underscore Danny.
And Detroit, Portland, Phoenix. This weekend's Detroit. And Plano. Toronto as well. Toronto have sold a lot of tickets. We might even be on shows. So think you're going to want to get those T.O ticks.
By the way, you know what I love? One of my favorite comedy things that exists is
when you have sex.
Yes. No, like I got tagged, I think more than once in a show where like one of the shows you did and you're like, and Danny was fire.
No, it was only once. It was Chris from Brooklyn. I saw that
no,
too.
Someone else
I don't know. I don't know.
It's happened before.
I saw
it
one,
the time.
But someone said Danny was really funny and it was Chris from Brooklyn. I couldn't believe that. That was so funny. I wish it was someone funnier because he's not that not that crappy person to be called. But
yeah. But it was funny. I was like, what?
Yeah, I don't know how you'd make that. That's pretty hilarious.
But I mean, if you know my maybe you're just blackout drunk or something. So
I guess so.
Oh. Danny's taking this fasting way too far.
Well, a slap in the face because SNL has been slammed for having Dave Chappelle on as host. So
what?
Pretty crazy. It actually is. I was like a little bit unexpected that Chappelle's gonna be hosting SNL.
Well, that's their thing though. They're trying to not get.
He's trying to not be a pussy anymore.
Well, they had him after. They've had him a few times.
No, but Heat's been not since the Heat like this has been on him.
Didn't he do it a year ago or something?
I don't think since like the Netflix protests and all that sort of stuff.
I thought he did have one since then. I could be wrong, but yeah, they try and be spicy. And Black Star, I didn't realize that. I haven't heard that.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. But I just thought it was funny because they like, I almost like it when all these big institutions, like at one point you're like the 7 biggest comedians in the world are like blacklisted. Like, you know, a lot of people would say, you know, you'd get in trouble if you had Gervais, Louis, Rogan, like literally the probably 10 biggest comedians in the world. 7 of them were like taboo to have on your show.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? Which is just such a funny thing to like try to be competing in comedy. And then you're just like, hey, the top 8 people, we can't have them on. You know, but it is so. This is funny because every time this happens, they go SNL. This is the headline. SNL apparently thinks it's a good idea to have Dave Chappelle host this week.
Yeah,
I'm sure that they probably know that it's maybe not going to go as smoothly as that. But
I mean, who cares if a couple people? If anything,
of course, who cares?
Just more buzz.
But the funny part is, of course,
these people.
Whenever they do this, everyone goes, "Wait, I thought they canceled them. Is it possible that cancel culture isn't a real thing?" Tweeted ex-Netflix employee Tara Field, and it was just like. That take is always funny to me because it was just like these people are absolutely incapable of understanding any nuance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You go, has anyone ever lost anything from your tweet storms? You go, yeah. So it's like, okay, so does it only work if everyone ever loses their job on the slightest infraction? It was just like an absolute incapability of like understanding any nuance.
Sure. And again, what do you want? Like you want him you didn't like his jokes, so he's just like his livelihood should be taken from him?
And more importantly,
and if they don't do that,
well, yeah, they take it away. But more importantly, on top of that, if you go, they say, hey, I think that cancel culture is like not real. And it's like, so why are you doing this then? Like if you're admitting that you believe what you think, you go, hey, us protesting and all this stuff, cancel culture is not real and it doesn't work. Then you go, then why are you doing it?
Yeah.
Right? Why are you writing this then if you think it makes it worse?
Just yelling into the void, you know?
Furthermore, cementing that cancel culture definitely does not exist in the way people claim. Dave Chappelle will be hosting this week's episode. Despite the fact that Chappelle's comments have sparked widespread backlash from everyone from Netflix's employees to students at his former high school. It's always like stuff like that too. We go, even people in, even like Silicon Valley liberals and college kids, you know what I mean? Like,
I mean, they have to make up a story.
But you never hear, it's like, you're never going to hear, Chappelle sparked outrage at places, for example, Netflix, the university, and the loading dock. But anyways, it goes on. But it was funny because that's one of those things where you go, no shit, it's a good move. And it's like, to some degree, I guess that's good that some big things are realizing that,
I mean, I don't know the extent that you even really watched SNL recently.
No, it drives me.
But they are trying to turn a page and kind of forget.
And Marcello's there. He's super funny.
Yeah, Marcello's great.
Funny.
But I'm saying like they are trying to kind of change the perception of being this like Hillary Clinton stuff.
Of course, because people hate that shit and they don't want to like just their ratings to keep going down like all the late night hosts.
Yeah.
But that's one thing. I feel like when things have been around this long, instead of being treated like a legacy thing, it should just be treated like another show. Like one of the things that drives me nuts the most is when I do a video and people will be like, oh, like SNL should be watching you. And you're kind of just like, I don't want to be on Saturday Night Live. Like I'm fucking in my mid 30s. Yeah, I don't. It's like it's like maybe if I was like had been there for 10 years, but it's like this would be the time when I would be like leaving. Maybe it's
for
like,
sure, yeah,
dude. Yeah. It's like I'm not interested in like a full-time writing job in Times Square like for 50 hours. Like it's just like
also they don't even do like they used to bring on people who were like older, but they don't even do that anymore.
Yeah,
like,
it's not.
I don't think you get on there if you're over
that was
30.
not like on my things of like if I've never even ever wanted to do that. It wasn't because I'm not like particularly into that kind of like improv-y
sketch stuff.
Yeah, like I like sketches, but not that kind. I always kind of like I thought obviously Tom Green was the best, but I liked like Portlandia or whatever. Like I always thought the sketches shows that were kind of like outside of the thing were cool. And I know those guys came from SNL, but I just was never like the hugest like SNL head.
Yeah.
So it wasn't even something that like I wanted ever.
That's just the term people know,
I know, but I hate it. I wish it was. I wish it wasn't.
RuPaul's Drag Race. You should be on there.
Justin Trudeau just got that gig.
I heard.
Did you see that?
Yeah, he's gonna go on there.
Justin Trudeau's.
Stay away from the shoe polish, Justin. That's not for you.
That is pretty funny that Justin Trudeau is gonna be on RuPaul's Drag Race rating drag queens.
I mean, dude, he's got nothing left to do.
Yeah, that is.
He's done everything there is to do as a prime minister. Now he's just got to like kind of just finish out his days, just fucking the dog,
Yeah, I guess he is. This is him fucking the dog a little bit. But the funny part about this is going the other way we've always said one of the funny parts about all this stuff was that there'd be some like older comedians that have had the same act for like 30 years. And then they sort of were like, no, I'm like edgy again. Yeah. Because they're like, hey, you can't do racist jokes. And you're like, that's all I fucking do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're like, oh yeah, like fucking this, I'm like, guy comes up to at the convenience store. He can't even speak the language, like actually the guy, the caricature.
Yeah. I mean, basically, Jeff
Can you
think of a good
like old school racist joke?
Well, like a street joke.
I'll tell
Jeff Dunn had
like, what do you call
terrorist.
what do you call like a white chick that has a kid with a black guy, a single mother? Like that would be like an old school one that people would say.
That's super fucked up.
Agreed. That I can't believe that I even repeated it.
Bleep that out, please.
That's not my joke, Danny, please. Dude,
don't tell Lord Michael.
Sorry, don't tell your people. I know you guys have been getting.
Do you want me to do to you what they did to Kyrie?
Danny, I just wanted. You know what's worse? You know how you're you're the original Jews and then there's the black Israelite. Yeah. What if
we're the fake Jews.
You're the fake. No, but there's the Jews and then there's the black Israelites. What if I'm like a white Israelite where I think like wasps are the real Jews?
Good luck with that.
That's my new thing. It's like, I think you're both wrong. I think like white Anglo-Saxon people from like Ireland and stuff, I think
They're
that's
the original.
I think we're the real
from the
Jews.
Bible?
Yeah. I think, I don't even think Jesus was, I think Jesus was like Irish.
Just Irish, yeah. He's just a ginger.
I think
Jesus
Irish
was a ginger.
yeah. Gingers are the real Jews.
The Black Israelite thing, the weirdest thing is
We are the real Semites.
I can't really get a beat, and I've been watching a lot of their content.
I know you
can't
have.
get a real beat.
You're about to go full like Zionist.
No, I think it's hilarious. I'm
I
like,
know, obviously.
I'm like, someone said it.
I've been tagged in things where people will be like, Danny's getting mad. And I was just like, someone said that to me. Someone said that to me that like, you're getting fired up. And I was like, you don't know him. He's like, not like that.
No. I'm enjoying myself.
He doesn't have a soul.
But someone said
Danny doesn't have a soul to be mad.
No soul. But someone said in the comments on one of my videos, they go, the Black Israelites is QAnon for black people. And that was like, exactly. Like it is
That's pretty accurate.
It is their QAnon. Because you're like, first off, you're like, what do you want? Like, what do they want? So they go, okay, you're like, if all the Jews go, or the Jewish people like me go, okay, fine.
You're the
now.
Oh, that's one of the things the guy said. I don't think I remembered that last time we were talking about it. He goes, "That's why they call them Jewish."
Yeah,
ish.
Yeah,
means not really Jewish.
100%. Yeah, he goes exactly. He goes, they're Jewish, we're Jew. Like, right? And you go, so assume we concede that because it seems like their gripe is that they're not allowed to be Jews,
but they are.
But nobody's stopping them.
But are the Black Israelites getting turned away from synagogues?
I mean, if they're
yelling, if they're
yelling about Hitler, probably not getting. But like, they can make their own synagogues.
Sure.
Like, I couldn't just. There's synagogues in New York. I can't just go show up there.
You have to register. Like, it's like a dentist.
You gotta be like a member.
Yeah.
Because they only have limited like seating or whatever. Like, they'll be like, yeah, you're not a member here. I don't know. Go somewhere else.
Okay.
But so it's like, but why can't they start their own thing and just be Black Hebrew Israelites?
You know what? That's such a good point.
Like, what do they want from it's unclear what they want specifically from Jewish people.
But doesn't that all kind of boil down with all this stuff? It's like people sort of complain. They're like, this group has too much power. This group has too much power. And it was like, it really is the boil at the end of it. And you go, what do you want them to do about it?
Yeah.
Unless your answer is like, take it all away. It's just like, well, I just want people to know, I guess.
Yeah, but that's the thing too, is like, this isn't even the media where you go, fire them all, right? Or whatever, you go, let's fire them. This is like, you can't stop people from practicing Judaism. like you can't be like, oh, like, how could you possibly stop that? Even if you say they can't have synagogues, like, Jews have dealt with that before. Like, you'll do it at home. Like, you can't stop them.
Sure.
Some people are probably watching this horrified right now, being like, oh God, he's right. We can't stop them.
Hear that? Yeah, that's
God.
Danny being like,
God.
People have tried to stop us before. We're unstoppable. We are unstoppable.
They're going to be projecting this on like the side of a building in Harlem.
Danny Bullshit.
In Harlem, being like, see, look at the devil. He goes, you can't stop us. Someone actually
they're rubbing it in our face.
Someone tweeted at me about them because I talked about the movie, and they go, they're playing this movie all over Harlem on projectors right now, dude.
Is that true?
That's what he said.
Oh my God.
They're waking up.
Well, this ventriloquist guy.
This ventriloquist is in the news.
You guys heard about this ventriloquist? Someone from the Patreon actually sent this to me.
It's on this site, by the way.
It's on the route, yeah.
But it's on, the site that we were just reading about, the
Black Israelites?
No. What was the article we just covered 2 seconds ago? The trans something.
SNL?
Oh, the SNL. It's on that site as well. I just saw it popped up.
Them.com?
Them.com.
Well, the ventriloquist bar, I got to admit, so this ventriloquist, the basic story is it's kind of like a ventriloquist who's been doing the same act for 30 years.
Yeah.
And it's like all racial like humor. And then it's not.
He has a black woman like caricature
Did
of
you see what the black woman puppet's called?
No. Was something Sister? Black sister?
Sister girl.
Sister girl.
Well, so basically, I'll just read the one thing. He goes, ventriloquist retires racist puppet to the shelf after Backlash. I've been doing my show for 20 years for thousands of people of all races to standing ovations and rave reviews in the press. Then suddenly a handful of people attack me while the majority were enjoying my show. So all of this stuff sounds true, but it was one of those things where you like knowing comedy, you're just like, any of your friends that was like, hey, I'm just gonna do the cellar tonight, and I have I've got a sister girl, the terrorist puppet, and what are your jokes? You're like, yo, what y'all doing? This sister girl. You go,
literally talks.
I mean, give it a shot. Like if one of your buddies was like, I'm thinking about doing this new thing, doing like a puppet act with sister girl, you go, I guess give it a try.
This shit must have killed in the 90s.
Oh, Sister Girl was a hot...
Like, Sister Girl must have killed so hard that the guy's like, I can't... I'm like Jeff Dunham. Like, Jeff Dunham's like...
You know, it's probably like a heavy, like... Yo, I'd get my hair... Oh, buddy, I got to get my nails did.
Did you see the video?
I didn't watch the video.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Okay,
he talks exactly like that. It's 20 minutes. He's
you know what, be Sister Girl.
Yeah, and he's like, you don't talk to me like that, motherfuckers. Like, he's saying it because the audience is starting to heckle him. He goes, you shut your goddamn mouth, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
I'm a sassy black lady.
Yo, Sister Girl rules.
Yo, if we hit... How about this, Ryan? If we hit 2,500 patrons by next week, we'll bring him on with Sister Girl.
Let's bring this guy in.
We're gonna bring him from Chicago. He's gonna be on the.
We're flying Sister Girl down.
Own seat for Sister Girl, by the way. Sister Girl gets their own.
Oh, he has to sit under the table, and Sister Girl's the only. Sister Girl's the guest.
Yeah.
Sister Girl, how do you feel about being on the Boys Cast? You motherfucking white boys don't tell me shit. He probably loved doing that voice too. It's a fun voice to do.
Oh yeah. I wonder if how many
Sister Girl's a big proud black woman.
How many other puppets he has?
He was like peak George Floyd doing Sister Girls.
Like he's doing Sister Girl, and then like the news comes on, and it's like the riots. He goes, God damn!
Oh, Sister Girl, be taking a nap right now.
Sister Girl's leaving out the back door.
Yeah, but it is funny. He's like, I don't get it. Like 20 years ago, this got a standing ovation.
I mean, I would say comedy.
You know, he had everyone too. You know what I mean? He had like a Chinese puppet that he hit a gong before he brings it out and stuff like that.
I wonder how many other ones he has.
I guarantee he has everyone. He's got like lazy Mexican, like you know what I mean, like
the Grabbler,
Sleepy Pedro.
Yeah,
he's got the Grabbler, Sleepy Pedro.
His probably dream is just to open for Jeff Dunham.
Yeah, Explosive Ahmed. Yeah, for sure. This guy would be huge if he got that.
Yeah, that's what he's going for.
Sister Girl was probably his least offensive. And he also would do the Sister Girl. If you've seen the puppet, it has like the lips and the whole thing.
Oh,
it like legitimately has like
ridiculous.
the black. It's like the polished black face.
To do this in Chicago, mental.
That is, it's ballsy.
Like, there's one thing if you go, oh, this was like in some Alabama or something where there's like, or somewhere, you know, where it's like Utah, and you go, okay, I guess. Like,
I can see Sister Girl not being a huge hit in Chicago.
Not if you ask old Jerry Halliday.
Right.
He says it's been killing.
Oh, that's the thing. We are wrong because he says he's been getting standing ovations.
Yeah, but we know a lot of people who say that they kill, and then you see them, you go, oh, this is what you think killing is, huh?
Sure. For sure, he's got every single one, though. But he does a lot of welfare jokes and watermelon baby mama jokes. So I knew he was doing baby mama jokes.
Okay, so I'm sorry to cut you off, Ryan, but I went to this guy's website. I'm on his website right now.
Do we love him?
So I don't know. So his new act is Twinkie Boy. He's out of the closet and out of control. The world's gayest puppet with a hand stuck up it. Brought to life by stand-up comedian Jerry Halliday. Jerry, open invite for the Boys Cast.
I love this guy, dude.
Twinkie Boy. He has an actual closet. There's a door he broke through like fucking Jack Nicholson.
Twinkie Boy comes out of the closet.
Twinkie Boy comes yeah. And then there's like a priest.
So we only gotten in trouble for Sister Girl.
So Sister Girl's not the only one. He's got a bunch.
I'll be sucking dicks.
Twinkie Boy is amazing. The wildest, funniest, bodiest comedian puppeteer in America. He has a priest one. It's like a female sexy priest or like sexy nun.
Sexy nun.
Sexy nun. Twinkie Boy.
Funniest puppet with a hand up puppet.
He has a photo gallery. So he actually performs.
Is that an old Jewish one?
No, this is like an old woman with saggy tits, like an old grandma. Here's Twinkie Boy. He doesn't actually have Dangerous Dames. He has, he doesn't even have the black one on the site. It's already been removed. He only has a few. And he plays at this comedy club called Causey's, which is in Virginia.
Sister Girl. That's funny that shows you the hierarchy, though, because Sister Girl got kicked out, but he can still do the Twinkie Boy.
It's funny because this is like a gay thing too, like this website that they were covering it. But yeah, I don't know. Not for long.
You know what I've been loving about the Kyrie Irving thing after you guys gave him his like list of things he has to do?
Yeah.
After Sean King, one of my people.
Yeah.
White man. So Sean King, he went like crazy hard on Kanye West, right? But he's like friends with Kyrie Irving.
Ooh.
So he's been posting a lot of stuff like, you know, I think in this specific, because he was like, he went from like a Black Power guy to just like every social justice cause. Like he was all in on Palestine. Like he was all in on, you know, global warming. Like he's just in on all the stuff. He's not he almost got like sucked away from being a Black Power guy to just straight up being like a woke guy or whatever.
Yeah.
But like, it's funny because he was going so hard on how Kanye is anti-Semitic, but then with Kyrie Irving, it's his like, I feel like he knows that he's gonna just lose too much Black credibility by going hard on Kyrie. So he's like on all of his posts, he's like, you know, I just feel like sometimes in certain cases you need to have love, and I don't know if us yelling at him is gonna make the situation. He's doing. I'm watching this guy do mental gymnastics. To not give his like buddy the same treatment that he's been giving everyone else for the last, you know what I mean? How long?
Yeah.
But so that's been sort of funny to watch.
I don't know if I feel like I saw that list and go like they just don't want him back.
I'll read the list because it was a lot.
Yeah.
It does feel like, you know, this is all the black guys were saying like it's buck breaking. Did you see there was like Nick Cannon basically had an interview with like a Jewish guy, and it was kind of, you know, other people have been made this point, but it's like everyone knows their group's things better, but it's like, because he was like, you know, and Jewish people, I think that is a good point though. It's like when Jewish people, you start talking shit about like, you know, they run everything. Jewish people are like, we know where this goes. Yeah. And when black people start being like, hey, here's a list of things you need to do to bow down for us, they're like, we know how this goes. Yeah. So it's like, it's kind of like it's a bit of a butting heads because both sides are like, this is like my line. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, I think the best way, at least the way I look at it, is like, it's just the NBA is just trying to protect their thing, right? Because they're like pretty heavy-handed with a lot of stuff. Like this is the same NBA who Donald Sterling told his girlfriend in a private conversation that he didn't want her bringing black guys to Clippers games, which is like insane thing to say. And she recorded it, released it, and he was banned from the NBA for life and had to sell his team.
Yes.
Right? So they're like, they are pretty consistent somewhat.
Well, they've said a lot of this stuff where they were going like, this wouldn't have happened to a white guy.
Myers.
And I was just like, that doesn't sound true.
What do you mean? Last year, Myers Leonard on the Portland Trailblazers was on a stream and used the word kike, and he's banned. He's done in the NBA. That's it.
Yeah, so I'm just like, why? Yeah, it just seems not true, right?
It's not true because literally Myers Leonard, this happened last year. He said kike. They suspended him, and he's done in the NBA.
Are these people just like in a different planet? Because it's like they posted this. Like a lot of people are saying this. Like there's only negative consequences for black guys, but white guys want to do that, and you're just like, in what world,
dude? Tell me what like if Luka Doncic posted a video that said slavery was fake. Like
or Hitler was
or anything Hitler, like he would get this suspension at minimum.
Yeah,
they're getting star treatment. Yeah, they're getting star treatment.
Okay, that might be true. Like maybe it's not racial at all. It's like this is if Kyrie Irving was like, you know, guy number 7 on the team, you wouldn't even be hearing about this.
He would be Myers Leonard. He'd be done.
So maybe it's really we're looking at it through the wrong lens. Period. Also, there's cost associated with it. Probably if they have to fire him, like you're just gonna have to pay out a big amounts of money.
Yeah, I mean they were paying him tons of money. Oh well, I guess he sat out. They didn't have to pay him for the games he sat out last year for the vaccine or whatever. But like, he's just like a distraction. But he's so good. He's just so good. But if he was,
another team would pick him up though. No, it's a league that doesn't let him play.
Not necessarily. I don't know how that would work. Like no, it's the team. No, he suspended. The team suspended him.
Yeah, so
this is internal. The league's
couldn't another team pick him back up?
Well, they would have to get rid of him, and they could.
So they want him to do. He's got to apologize and condemn the movie. $500K donation to anti-hate causes. Sensitivity training, anti-Semitic training. Meet with the ADL, Jewish leaders. Meet with Joe Tsai. And demonstrate understanding.
That's the owner. That's the Alibaba guy.
I do have a thing where it's like, you know, it really does, like it is very humiliating. So it's like almost like a humiliation ritual.
Yeah.
So I think I get, that's what like, even
but they gave him 10 opportunities to get out of this and he never chose to take them.
Whatever about all that.
Yeah.
It's like that to take like a,
I agree with this is so much.
I see like doing a donation or doing this stuff or whatever. Like, it's almost like you're not. He has to lose so much face to like take all this.
Yeah,
public
that's
flogging.
why I think they don't want him back. Because they go, here's a list of things we think you're not going to do.
Okay, so that's a good point.
That's what I think this is. Here's a list of things we think you're not going to do. If you don't do
I didn't
them,
even notice
maybe
that.
we don't have to pay you your contract or whatever. But I just think they don't want it back.
They think they're giving him. This is how they walk away from it.
Yeah, they go, here's a list of things you're not going to do.
And then what happens? Someone else will pick him up.
I don't know. Maybe they released him.
He is in a rock and hard place, though.
Well, I think this is the last year of his contract.
Because that is like, to do all that stuff so publicly, because he posted an apology and they were already like, it wasn't good enough and all this stuff.
Well, his big thing was they asked him, they go, do you have any anti-Semitic beliefs? Which if you were trying to get out of this, even if you do, like I have anti-Semitic beliefs.
What are they?
Can't get into them right now, but I would just be like, no. Do you, like, if you're trying to save your job, all your shit, you go, do you have anti-Semitic beliefs? You go, no.
Yeah.
It's like,
what did he say?
He goes, don't want to answer it.
That's not a, yeah. I see, yeah.
All right, well, not a yes or not a no. You go like, I don't know what you want.
I'll tell you that your chick, did you fuck my best friend? I choose not to answer that question.
It was the Rob Ford thing. Remember Rob Ford? Where he goes, he's like with the smoking crack, and he goes, what did you ask me? And they go, do you smoke crack? And he goes, no, I don't smoke crack, but ask me, have I ever smoked crack? And they go, have you ever smoked crack? He goes, yes, once or twice.
Yeah.
Shut up.
I choose not to answer that question.
Yeah. All
right.
Like, I mean, man, if there's any white player, they go, do you have any anti-black racist beliefs? And they go, I don't want to answer that. It would be a mess.
It'd be over. Yeah.
Over. You're out of the league.
Well, and this is the last one we'll talk about on this before we go to the Patreon, because so I think you actually had the point, and I've been thinking about this a lot because I've been doing jokes about it and, kind of whatever. It's like an interesting like moment in fucking time right now with all the stuff that's happening.
Yeah.
Especially in the context of, what's happened before, like in the last 5 years. It's just like a interesting like tipping point of some sort. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think in the Kyrie Irving thing, I think that I haven't heard that necessarily, and that's probably the best. If I was to put money on takes that I've heard, I would say your thing you just said right now, that they're trying to get rid of him.
Yeah, they just want to get rid of him.
That I would put my money in. That sounds the most right of anything I've heard. But when they're talking about it wouldn't happen to this guy or this guy, yeah, it probably is more based on how's the star. Do they want to get rid of him? But like then the Boston Bruins guy, Mitchell Miller,
yeah,
he just got fired for bullying.
When he was 14 years old.
When he was 14.
Well, he had been drafted, then released.
But the 100%, the bullying was because if he was bullying the guy that wasn't black, it wouldn't have. This wouldn't have been a story.
He was black and disabled.
Yeah, this wouldn't have been a story.
No, it was a double whammy. This is one of those things where you're like, he was 14. You're like, what? This is the one where I go like, so what? You're punished for life? Like he went through all this rehabilitation.
Well, Mark Wahlberg's like killed a guy.
Exactly.
Jail. Like what is I mean, it really goes to the thing you go, the same thing we're saying, like, what do you want to happen? With this, you go, what is the punishment? You go, well, if you do something like that when you're 14, I guess the punishment for them is you could never have any job in like public.
You're irredeemable?
Forever.
You're just
like,
irredeemable.
What do they want to happen?
Well, no, because he could go get a job anywhere and like, in a normal thing.
I mean, sort of. I mean, to be honest, like, a lot of times, a lot of places, they probably would bring this stuff up again. Like, no, you're the racist, disabled bully guy.
Maybe, but it was specifically a hockey thing. Like, he has a pretty normal name. Like, you could probably get by. I think it's just in hockey circles, they know, because he got drafted by, I think, Arizona, and everybody was passing on him because he basically, like, pretty severe, like to the point where it became like criminal bullying this black kid and like saying,
well, he actually did do community service and stuff like that. Which was obviously the thing was terrible. But the point of the matter is, at some point, you're just like, well, so what should like, what's the correct response to that? You go,
yeah, like he can never, like we were just saying, he can never play hockey.
And it's not just, the problem with this is they always find like some edge case, but it's just like, you're talking more of a principle. You go, so just like, if you do something when you're 14 and then do time and then you're different or whatever.
And like, you went through treatment and all that.
They let guys that were in the KKK be like, I'm not in the KKK, and then go around, do the circuit.
Being like, Trump's bad, like I'm not in the KKK
So
anymore.
it's like, but what's the, like, you know what I mean?
I don't know, because I'm like, we just read this article.
The leagues are very sensitive right now, all the sports
Well, they're
leagues.
these huge businesses. They're giant businesses. That's you can't think of them as a league. They're just a business. Like, it's like if Apple, Apple probably wouldn't hire someone like this for their, like, to be a vice president.
Do you know what kind of made me
You could
think
be a ticket taker.
I think it's, I was having the argument about, when they say like peaceful parenting versus like parents that beat their kids.
Yeah.
And I was saying, like, it is so crazy that some parents, like, the guy that would like legitimately like beat the shit out of his kids, like where the kid's got like a black eye and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And someone was saying like, oh, my parents beat me and it's just as bad, but like obviously there's levels. And I was like, well, I actually was thinking that point's wrong. To me, the difference of the two is the same as here, where you go, the difference between the dad that beats him versus the parent that's like disciplining, in their mind, there's like a motive behind this, that they think they're doing this to like...
They're coaching. They're not just assaulting.
They're coaching, right.
Yeah.
So, and the difference between, in my mind, is the ability to like experience empathy. Like, for example, if I was like beating up a kid, even if I thought like this was for some reason I thought, like the fact that the kid was like, I wouldn't be able to, like, you'd feel so sorry for the kid.
Of course.
The same way, even if someone did something bad, like someone goes to jail and then you watch them get the shit kicked out, like I still feel bad for that person. It's like, whereas some people don't have empathy. And I think the same way with this stuff, like you can watch someone be like, okay, maybe that guy deserves to be fired for that. Like, you know what I mean? But still feel bad for them. And I think it's all this level of like, there's more and more people that almost like have the inability to experience any like empathy for anyone else or something. Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%. And I mean, how many years has to pass before they can say, he's good, or does he just have to go play in Europe for the rest of his life?
I think forever. I think that's the thing. When you have no empathy, you have no empathy.
I guess. But these are more these businesses. They're just like, they just don't want the PR. Because they signed him and then released him like the same day.
I know I'm maybe taking it seriously too much, but I mean, there's a lot of it going on right now. So I've been sort of thinking of the difference, and I was trying to put my finger on something, and it really reminded me of like the parent that, like, my parents spanked me or whatever, right? Like that, if I was good,
that's hot.
And if I was good.
What's that like?
Which who cares? Like, doesn't affect me one way or the other. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they weren't like out of control, like fucking. They
not like, yo, go cut a switch.
Yeah, they thought that it was. They thought that they was helping.
Sure,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where it's like
they weren't just like taking out their fucking day out on you.
Yeah, because someone hurt them.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
Exactly. Which is messed up.
Well, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But how would you? Yeah, to not be able to see like a kid like crying in pain, and you like that doesn't like register in your brain as like that doesn't like. Because you almost are trying to, if you're watching like a kid get beat up, you want it to stop because it's like uncomfortable to watch.
Of course. Yeah, I don't know what they want him to do so he could be eligible, or if his decision is he could never play. And the Chappelle article where they're like, oh, there's no such thing as cancel culture. Well, you're like, there you go. Did something when he was 14.
Yeah, we were saying that if Joe Biden, it comes out that he's like, he pushed a kid over in like kindergarten. That'd be great. That'd be like great. I was just like,
done, Joe.
Yeah, this guy was walking around. He was in fucking junior kindergarten. He stole someone's fucking fruit roll up.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? No NBA for you.
Sorry, Joe. Yeah, this is kind of messed up. I don't know. Maybe 2 years from now it'll blow over enough. And
that's a good question. Maybe they should. They didn't even give this guy demands. What if he gets demands? Like he has to donate money to Kyrie Irving's thing.
No, that's when you go. That's when if you go. And Mitchell Miller has to donate his salary to the ADL, and you go, wait, what does this have to do with Jews? Wait, what's going on here?
Yeah.
That'll win.
The donating to the partisan organizations is crazy.
Yeah.
I feel like Jewish people would have more support if they stopped, like, if they didn't how like people say that Black Lives Matter was, there's like a lot of the scam stuff was going on.
Yeah.
It's like I feel like Jewish people as like a unit would have more public support if they stopped like picking places like ADL as like, yeah, they represent us, because really they're just like partisan organizations.
Well, I think they became like, those are old organizations when they actually weren't like a joke.
Right.
And so they have to, all Jews have to renounce the ADL, which...
Well, maybe don't renounce them, but just stop promoting them.
Yeah.
Stop, like, you know what I mean? Demanding that they get money.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Probably.
But like, yeah.
I don't give them a red cent.
Hell no, dude.
1 penny of my money, ADL.
Well, how funny would that be though if he had to give his money to Kyrie Irving's charity, and then Kyrie Irving had to give his money to like the other guy's charity.
Just washing all their money.
They're just all washing their money. Okay, let's do this Frexting article on the Patreon. Okay.
Frexting?
Yeah, it's a pretty good one. Okay. Gentlemen.
Fellas.
Thank you for hanging out with the boys.
Peace.
The boys.
It's the BOYSCAST.
The lads.
It's the BOYSCAST.
The dudes.
Prepare yourself for BOYSCAST.
The bros.
It's the